News team, Lynn Brooks, Philip Coleman, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
An election year like this one can often bring matters of faith into the spotlight. A new study shows some changes are happening in how Americans describe their own religious beliefs.
The study shows that for the first time in American history, Protestants are no longer the majority religious group in the USA. WVUA's Daniel Sparkman has details now in our top story at 6.
A study by the Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life shows that only 48% of the American population now identifies themselves as Protestants.
Well, there's been a decline in Protestantism over the last 20 years, so this continues that trend. The 48% number is probably scary to some church leaders. The study itself suggests, however, that it's the rise of the unaffiliated that is really the factor here.
The study shows that more than 19% of Americans consider themselves unaffiliated. Tuscaloosa religious leaders believe some who aren't affiliated with a denomination may still consider themselves Protestant.
I think maybe it may be misleading some of the articles we've seen, because I believe that majority of non-denominational are Protestant.
A lot of it probably has to do with the fact that there does seem to be a trend where a lot of people are, for a variety of reasons, moving away from institutional places of worship. And again, there's a bunch of reasons for that.
Professor of Religious Studies Theodore Trost agrees there are several reasons people are choosing not to affiliate.
One would be the increasing politicization of religious affiliation itself. Many of the non-affiliated people said they were tired of the culture wars. They're tired of the kinds of labels that get applied to them if they claim to be this or that in terms of religious affiliation, and so they choose not to affiliate.
Trost also says the U.S. could be seeing an increase in secularism, a concept where religious faith and worship are being rejected, that is increasing in Europe. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Daniel Sparkman, WVUA News.
Trost added that in the South, the biggest decline in Protestantism is among young people.
On your election watch, there are now only 25 days until the November general election. And if you haven't registered to vote, your time is running out. According to the Alabama Secretary of State, the deadline to register closes 10 days before an election. And if you're voting by an absentee ballot, it must be postmarked no later than the day prior to the election or hand-delivered to the absentee election manager by 5 p.m. the day prior to the election. You can learn more at the Secretary of State website. For a shortcut, just go to WVUATV.com, or you can call their office at 344-242-7210.
A lot of big things happening here around town. We had the Moundville Festival, also a lot of people going out to Missouri to the game, and beautiful week to get outside. We've had some pretty nice weather.
So what kind of weather can you expect for the rest of the weekend? Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hello, Richard.
Hey, Philip and Lynn, good Thursday evening to you. No issues with rain out there this evening and really leading your weekend plans. Looking great out there in terms of weather conditions. A lot warmer though, 75 now in Tuscaloosa, 80 back in Jackson. And this warmer area you see southwest of us will move our way over the next couple of days. So we're back in the 80s for afternoon highs tomorrow as well as Saturday. No rain to talk about across the immediate coverage area, but you notice some showers happening over the Tennessee Valley. That will stay north of us tonight and will stay rain-free. No issues out there in terms of rain or cloudiness for the most part. 60 at 10, 56 at midnight. But what about that weekend forecast? Weather straight ahead. Stick around.
If you're looking for a great outdoor event that's also educational, you can head out to the Moundville Native American Festival. It's like stepping back in time, watching history come to life. It's the 24th year for the festival, and it features Southeastern Indian culture, giving hundreds of craftsmen the chance to show off their wares. You can also enjoy Native American food, crafts, music, culture. The festival has been named one of the state's top 20 tourism events. And with technology use on the rise, demonstrators told us the festival is a great way to see what life was like before computers and iPhones.
I guess the major analogy, the real hard, heavy wood.
The people that lived on the planet Earth for tens of thousands of years was the first green technology. They didn't leave anything but the planet like they found it. We've been here a few thousand with a modern society, and we're altering it pretty rapidly. So I think they need to understand that there are alternates to just technology.
Admission is $10 for adults and $8 for children. It runs 9 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. Friday and 9 until 5 on Saturday. And the Crimson Tide is getting ready to head out to Columbia, Missouri for the first time since 1978.
And the Missouri Tigers are the new kids on the block now in the SEC, and so far their record in the conference is 0-3, while the Crimson Tide remains undefeated and ranked #1 in the nation. Be sure to stick around because later in this newscast, our very own Jennifer Edwards will give you a closer look at the history behind this matchup. Meanwhile, this Saturday's game will be played at Memorial Stadium in Columbia, Missouri. Kickoff is scheduled for 2:30 p.m. and it will be televised on CBS.